Hello everyone, back with me Teguh Amor Patria. Welcome to the second session, Consumption of Culture, Heritage Demand and Experiences. The past and its resources lie at the core of much of global tourism today, and people by hundreds of millions travel worldwide each year to seek out and experience places of historical and cultural significance. It is a well-established fact that heritage tourism is big business, and demand for it continues to grow. Now, we turn to identifying various types of demand for heritage experiences and places. In tourism studies, we often speak of demand as consumers of the tourism product, the tourist. From an economic perspective, tourism is seen as an invisible export industry, because the product of tourism, for example, travel experience, is intangible, paid for by outsiders who bring new money into the region and export it from the destination where it is created. 4 categories of cultural tourists include: first, accidental, which makes up about 20%, have no plans to visit historic sites or cultural events, but might stumble onto an opportunity or accompanying friends or relatives who insist on going. Second, adjunct, 20%, motivated primarily by other factors such as trekking in a rainforest, relaxing at a beach resort, or attending a sporting event, but will also plan a site visit to a cultural site while they are in the area. Third, partly motivated, 30%, travel both because of the heritage appeal of the destination and for other reasons, such as playing golf or visiting relatives. And fourth, greatly motivated, 15% of cultural tourist market. People who travel to specific destination purposefully to experience the culture and heritage of the region. Meanwhile, there is a current demand which relates to the present use of a product in terms of its volume and size. So what are the demographic, geographic, and psychographic characteristics of cultural consumers? To understand demand and market attributes, marketing and management specialists have traditionally segmented tourists according to 3 sets of characteristics. Demographics consists of age, gender, employment, marital status, education, and income. Psychographics, based on visitors' attitudes and behaviors, which are often conditioned by their home surroundings, lifestyles, and social networks. Places of origin, where guests are from and where they go, and what they do while in the destination. Rural areas are popular heritage destinations all over the world because of their alluring agricultural landscapes and historic villages. For example, terrace rice fields in the Philippines, Indonesia, and China. Cities, especially capital cities, tend to be the most popular heritage destinations in terms of visitor numbers, as these are viewed as centers of culture, the arts, and national treasures. A final perspective on heritage characteristics is where they get their information from about which cultural sites to visit. For example, the internet as primary source of information, followed closely by personal recommendations from friends and relatives. Well, let's talk about other consumers of heritage tourism. There are people and organizations that comprise part of the demand for heritage tourism, besides the tourists themselves, such as travel agents, tour operator, destination management organizations or DMOs, transportation companies, and other service providers. There is also non-tourism demand for heritage. While they are not strictly tourists by official definition, because they do not spend a night away from home, day trippers are an extremely important part of heritage demand. They include journalists, school and youth groups, governments, community leaders and local businesses, towns, cities, and villages will often establish local holidays or special events. Now let's talk about visitor motives and experiences. There are several reasons why people visit a historical place, including socializing with others, other personal motives such as walking, sightseeing, learning something new, curiosity, etc. Nostalgia, visiting places that relate to their own past. Societal nostalgia, a desire to visit places and times that are rooted in the simple life of the past. To learn something new about history and culture. Other sundry reasons include using up spare time, getting out of bad weather, etc. In recent years, there has been a development of knowledge about different types of demand of heritage tourism. What are the types? First, unmet demand. These include people who do not visit but probably would if they had an opportunity. There are several primary reasons why people do not visit heritage sites or participate in cultural events, including intrapersonal, interpersonal, and structural. Second, demand shifters. Demand shifters are typically viewed from two perspectives: those emanating from the tourist home region or place of origin, and forces occurring in the destination or globally that affect departures and arrivals. Third, demographic changes. The aging and retirement of large cohorts of retirees in the Western world who are healthier and more affluent than previous generations increases demand significantly as people are living longer and possess more disposable income than their predecessors. The ethnic composition of tourist-generating societies also influences demand. The smaller average family size is another important trend. Fourth, economic variables. When rates are favorable, people will travel abroad. Fifth, political climate. Political circumstances have a profound influence on demand for tourism, such as terrorism and war, and other political issues. And last, seasonality. Periodic variations in demand for tourism products are known as seasonality. There are two types of seasonality: natural, such as weather and climate, and institutional, such as school breaks, public holidays, and special events. I hope this session gave you an insight into the demand side in heritage tourism. Thank you and see you in the next session.